consumer. Hello and welcome to Storyboard. I'm Shibani Gharat. If you look around you, speak with your friends, you will know that online dating is now the most common way that singles are making new connections. Not only are Gen Zs and millennials using dating apps, but according to a recent survey, over 55% have been in a serious relationship with someone they met on Tinder. In their recent report, The Future of Dating 2023, the online dating platform has some fascinating insights on how Gen Zs are dating online. The last time Tinder raised the curtain on top dating trends for young singles was 2 years ago, in the midst of the pandemic. And since then, life has changed. To better understand where Tinder members find themselves now and how are these attitudes influencing evolving perceptions around love and human connections, we are joined in by Tinder Global CMO Melissa Hobley, and she is also speaking about many things including safety on the platform and how is Tinder actively changing its image to a platform where different types of connections can be made. Melissa, welcome to CNBC TV 18.
Thanks so much for having me.
So after 2 years of gap, Tinder is coming up with the Future of Dating report all over again. So let's speak more about the hunt for love and connections. If we look at the survey numbers, majority of the people under the age of 30 are using dating apps, and over half, which is 55%, and 37% know of someone who have been in a serious relationship with someone they met on Tinder. So what are more of these numbers, if you can share, and tell us more about the state of online dating in 2023, Melissa?
The majority of Gen Z around the world is on a dating app to find their person. And so it's a great time to meet someone, to be on Tinder. We're really proud about the Future of Dating report, which is uncovering what we're seeing with Gen Z, what is driving them, what their deal breakers are, how they're dating, how they're connecting. It's so interesting. And one thing that's fascinating is that Gen Z is redefining dating. And they're doing that in India, they're doing that around the world. It's really impressive and exciting to see.
I was going through the report and many interesting things have come up. If you can shed some light on these trends, and what is the trend that you found most unique, Melissa?
I love that question. So I'll start with what I think was the most unique about the Future of Dating report from Tinder this year is that authenticity matters. Authenticity matters. Gen Z, and here's how that shows up on Tinder. They want you to show up as you are. They don't want perfect photos. They don't want you in front of a fancy sports car, unless that's yours, and maybe it was your savings. They want to see you as you. It's not about perfect. It's not about a certain thing. It's about what matters to you, what drives you, and who you really are. One of the interesting data points in this study is that Gen Z is having a healthier experience dating, and that's according to millennials. More than half of millennials think that 18 to 25-year-olds have a healthier experience dating. We are seeing that and believing that. Another data point that's really interesting, Shibani, is that over half of daters on Tinder are looking for something serious, and that they're finding love, but they're doing it on their terms.
Great. And I remember back, 2 years ago, when this report came out, there was an interesting trend where Indians turned out to be the chattiest on Tinder. I remember that insight very well. But speak about the future. What, according to you, is the future of online dating? What are the new trends that you expect to emerge?
Great question. One of the trends that we're seeing on Tinder is jumping on Tinder when you're 18. It's a rite of passage. You have to be you have to be 18 to use the app. But that for Gen X, for millennials, there was a little bit of stigma. And that's absolutely gone with Gen Z. They are digital natives. They live on their phones, right? They grew up with technology. So how that is informing the way that they date and the way they show up is really, really interesting. And it means things like, well, I use my phone to find a job, to find a school, to adopt a puppy, to buy shoes. And so it's helping me in all these areas of my life. Of course, it should help me find love. It's a really exciting time to be at Tinder because we're seeing so many interesting trends around gender fluidity and around orientation. And they are rejecting a binary construct. They are rejecting these labels of I am a straight woman and I must get married and I must have children and I must do that before I'm 26 and a half. They're rejecting all of that. And they are saying, I will manifest what matters to me. I will find someone that, yes, I want my family to love them and to get along with them. And I want them to care about their family and be close to them too. But I need to find someone that I have that real authentic connection with. And that's a pretty exciting moment. And the last thing I'll say is that women are increasingly calling the shots and to see the growing voice that women have in India, to see them showing up on the apps as they want to see them voicing more and more, I want someone that's going to help me raise kids. I want someone that's going to help me with the house, that it's not labels or expected roles of that we've seen historically. So it's a really, really interesting time, and it's a very good time. It's a very good time to be at Tinder.
Great answer, Melissa. Moving on to my next question. Just a couple of months ago, you launched this global campaign speaking about the different connections that you can make on Tinder. What was the impact of that campaign? And also, was it an attempt to shed that image that Tinder had of, the one-night stand or a hookup app that Tinder had a reputation of early on?
Definitely, yes. We want to address, you're hitting it right on the head. We want to address the hookup perception that Tinder has, which actually isn't true. And I have the wedding invitations from India and countries around the world to prove that. 40% of people on Tinder are looking for something serious, something long-term. And so we wanted to address that. We also want to say the connection that you want is yours for the making. And Gen Z is writing their own rules. They are going to be really clear about what they want. They're saying that on their Tinder profile. They're saying that where they are. And so the global campaign, it starts with a swipe, has been really successful in doing that. And what we wanted to say is, is there anything more rewarding in your life than finding your person? And the power of that starts with just one swipe. And Shibani, I've had so many really beautiful, sometimes emotional conversations where someone says to me, I never thought I would find someone. I never thought I would find someone. One swipe changed my life.
Wow.
And so that was the sentiment we wanted to hit on.
Dating is difficult, you said it right, and safety concerns make it even harder for consumers to trust dating platforms in a big way. Also, documentaries like Tinder Swindler, they instill that fear in your mind whether it is safe to be or swipe right on Tinder. What are the consumer concerns or user concerns right now, and how you as a marketer are communicating that the platform is safe for your users?
I'm very proud to say in the last 3 years alone, Tinder has rolled out 15 trust and safety features. Things like, does this bother you? If we see that you've gotten a message that we could be something inappropriate, but we're not sure, because Gen Z is really good with slang. Things like, are you sure? If we will block a message from a guy if we're not sure that is an appropriate message. If it's obviously not appropriate, we'll stop it before it gets to you. But if it's difficult to detect that, we'll block those. We'll make it very easy to block and report. Trust and safety is a critical and priority topic at Tinder, and it will always be that way. I think we've done some really interesting things in India. We've done a Let's Talk Consent campaign with a partner in India to help us educate daters on what consent means and how to be more thoughtful about that. So, and those are stories and messages and education that we can push through the app to all of our users. So there's a lot of ways that we're going to continue to tackle trust and safety, be it telling people in the app, be it through public campaigns where we want to address toxic dating culture in general. You know, if you're on Tinder or not, educating folks about what healthier dating culture is and how to feel safe and how to put yourself out there, but know that that you'll be okay. So I think it's an issue I'm really proud of. We have an entire team of engineers at Tinder dedicated to trust and safety, and so you'll continue to see more from Tinder on this over the coming months and years.
Wonderful. Melissa, you moved from OkCupid to Tinder just 1 year ago. What has been the past 1 year been like, and what was your immediate mandate after joining, and how much of it has been achieved so far?
That's a great question. So, yes, I joined Tinder about a year ago. It's been really, really exciting. I am lucky that I was at another dating app before Tinder. And so I understood in the same company, I understood the ecosystem. I understood how the business model. I understood how a dating app works and the mechanics of it and the algorithm and all of those things. So my onboarding, what was easy is the onboarding was a lot easier. It was kind of like going to a new school in like the same family, right? My mandate though coming in was to explode this hookup perception, which Tinder actually never said, but is a way that people think about the app, and it's not reality. It's not reality, and so that's why, you know, very quickly we were getting a campaign out called "It Start with a Swipe." Very quickly, we're doing some interesting things tied to culture in India and other parts of the world. Tinder is the #1 dating app in 160 countries. And that is because it works. That is because this app can connect you to someone that you can find deep, meaningful love with and build a family with and introduce to your aunties. And so the power of those stories is what makes me excited to come to work every day and to tell those stories.
How wonderful. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us today, and thank you for sharing these insights with us, Melissa.
Thank you so much for having me. I had a great time chatting with you, Shubhani.
It is time for a short break. On the other side, we have Anuj Podar, Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer, Bajaj Electricals Limited, speaking about Bajaj 2.0 and how are they making 4 brands, Bajaj, Morphy Richards, Nirlep, and the newly launched Next more aspirational for the Indian consumer.